today we're doing our second pass post-plant tillage in our soybeans. The other day, right after plant, I think it was the day after so, or the second day after we planted the soybeans, we run the drag harrow across there. And again, that's to keep the little white hairs from popping up. And so far, these beans are about 8-9 days old, and they're looking pretty clean. So today it's the day before rain, and I'm going to run this newer tool, which is called a tine weeder. And it does a really pretty good job of working through the loose soil surface to disturb those little white hairs. So nothing really super fancy to it, just kind of got to play with the settings on it, make sure we're not too aggressive on the new soybeans, and so therefore we can rip out all the little grass starting or little weeds starting. Really pretty nice little tool. Short little soybeans, they're only about V2, just starting to really put on some good leaves. Pretty small little boogers. We're just trying to be pretty gentle with the tine weeder. Make sure I don't get off the road. Trying to be pretty gentle so we don't wipe out the soybeans. Not a lot you can really see from the cab. It just kind of looks like the drag harrow, only a little fancier version. The tines on the drag harrow are either, I don't remember what it is, either right under an inch or just over an inch apart. And there's 6 rows of them going across the back of that thing, so it really gets a good coverage. I got off the road. But anyway, it does a pretty good job of wiping out stuff in the whole field, not just in the row or in between the rows. It does the whole swath, kind of like a drag harrow. Here's what this guy looks like folded up. I don't know if you saw it the other day or not. Oh, shoot. Got a hose. That's why you got to get out and check stuff every so often. See, these tines awfully close. I don't remember what the distance is, but they're something right around an inch apart. So they got a pretty good coverage. Try to see if I can find a representation for you here. You really don't have to follow the rows, but I don't like going across them and smashing them down when you're crossing over, so I usually try to follow the row. But as you can see here, what it's doing, basically those tines are just coming along and raking the ground and stirring any of these little weeds that are germinating on the surface. Yeah, poor little guy, he got ripped off. That does tend to happen a little bit, especially if you go back over something that's already been drug one direction and you come back over and go the other direction, sideways or this way. I really only want to hit them one direction per time. You can come back later and hit them again, but then they'll be bigger and stronger. So one direction per application. And we got another little guy. I'm not finding very many except for where I double pass over. See, you got 3 or 4 of them right there in that little area. If you've got weeds that are very big, you know, probably an inch tall, it's probably not going to rip those out for a lot of reasons. Either you've missed your window when they're little, and now you've got a hard pan. See, there's a little foxtail we didn't get ripped out. He's not very big, but he's a good little root going there. Anyway, so a good reason why you might not be getting them out if they're, you know, weeds are so big already. You got some rain and you've got a nice little crust, and this tine weeder will not go through a crust. You need to have good powder to be able to stir that powder up with a tine weeder. Or you just waited too long and the grass is established well enough that you're not getting deep enough. See, those are down there far enough that I can't reach them. I'm being pretty gentle with the tine weeder because the beans are so little. So I'm trying to be gentle not to rip them off like that. And see I'm going kind of at a bit of an angle on these rows, so that could be why. We've got pretty close pass, a pass right there, a pass right here, and this thing's 40 foot, so obviously we got some good double coverage there, which probably is why we're ripping a few out. But anyway, so if you've got weeds that are already established, this thing's not going to get them out. If you got a little bitty white hairs starting in the surface, it'll get rid of those, and that's the purpose of it, so you can keep your field nice and clean like this. So, a lot of guys don't really understand that. If you've got weeds out here in the crop already, you're already too late. Keep your fields clean like they need to be. You need to have them like this and keep them like this. And that's really difficult when you get a lot of rain coming sporadically. Heavy rains makes it almost impossible to keep them clean. Continual rains every 3 days, you know, that makes it pretty difficult. We've got 2 inches of rain supposed to be coming tonight, so I'm trying to run around and grab all these soybean fields that are looking like this, that are looking pretty good yet. They're just drag arrowed 2 days ago, or 3 days ago. So they're not too bad at the moment, and I want to keep them that way, keep the weeds from getting started. So, try to see if I can get that hose plug back in. Hopefully it hasn't screwed up the tip on it. So I came to the next farm, got done with that one, and I could tell right away from the road that we've got a bigger problem on this farm. This one was the one that was continually filling up with foxtail before we could get it planted. And you can see here, this farm and the last were harrowed at the same day, but these, I don't know why these are so much more aggressive foxtail plants here. This is ridiculous. So this tine weeder has a hydraulic adjusted tensioner from the cab. So I adjusted up the tension a little bit to maybe, this is pretty, you know, this isn't real soft powdery here. It looks like, you know, the surface is, some of the stuff on top is nice and dry, but there's where that foxtail is coming up, it's pretty firm, and that tine weeder won't break into that. It just doesn't have the toughness of a tool to really break into that hard surface, you know, that hard pan or crust. So anyway, I cranked up the tension a little bit. I was having a harder time seeing the beans behind me, so I thought maybe I'd get out and look, and yeah, I don't like what it's doing. So I think I'm gonna leave this one alone. I can't be burying these beans like this. This is ridiculous. So I'm not sure. We're probably just gonna have to leave this farm alone until we can come in and cultivate them. This is a shame. And all this residue you see there, that's actually the grass. This looked like a yard, you know, 2 weeks ago when we came in and started trying to plant, and then we broke the planter. It looked like a yard. So we dissed it twice, and then we came through and field cultivated right after, and then field cultivated again a few days later because we broke the planter and had to get a different planter weight and all that. Anyway, so that's just grass, and it doesn't have very long leaves on it. So when I pick this thing up, it pretty much just kind of falls off the tines, and there's not a whole lot in there. I'm not too worried about it being a problem. So anyway, let's see if we can't find a different farm to run. This one's going to be pretty much all this way because it was all so full of foxtail. But I don't know why we got so much more foxtail here, and it's not wanting to break it out. It's already, that's what I was saying on that last farm, it's already started. If you can see it, you're already too late. This requires a different tool now, which will be the cultivator. And we're definitely not cultivating this with the soybeans that little. It'll get buried. We're gonna wait a little bit. We could. I've cultivated soybeans this little many years ago, but I found that you can do a lot better job if they're, you know, up like this instead of like that. You know, 4 or 5 inches. You can just throw a little better dirt down underneath of there. Well, shoot. Okay. I guess go find different farms to maybe try. Well, here's the next farm. I just got out and checked it. It is the same as the last one. I was talking to the landlord a little bit. He said the night before last they got an inch of rain out here in this area, so.
Hey! Dad! Why you had your cow?
Anyway, they got an inch of rain here and I only had 4/10, so that explains the difference. Just, about 5 miles farther west is where these two farms are compared to my place. And can't run these farms over here, so that's gonna be it, guys. Sorry I can't get any more on the tine weeder today, but hopefully there'll be some upcoming videos of it yet. You can run this tine weeder basically until the crop is up tall enough that it just starts touching that yellow bar in the front, which looks like probably 10, 12 inch tall beans. So you can run some pretty tall beans through there and not do any damage to them really. But at this stage, that's all we're going to do. We don't want to be burying beans and ripping them out because the soil is just a little too stiff on the surface, a little damp. So catch you next time, guys. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get the next video I put up, guys. And share it too so your friends can see what you're watching. Catch you later.